welcome to another Zen pop-up. So in this little special edition, what we're going to do is we're going to do a course creator's journey. So this is picking up key points that you should know as a new course creator, and maybe even as a sort of intermediate level as well, because there's certain things that you need to take into account when you're creating courses. So we're going to take it right back to the beginning, as if you've just come into it, you've got a subject that you want to teach online and you want to know where you go next. So there's a little journey through that process taking you to the end. So I really hope you like it. It's pre-recorded content, so you're going to see it, and we're going to end the video when it just finishes. So this is a course creator's journey from us at Zenler. Okay, welcome to a course creator's journey. So today we will touch on some of the main points you need to know in order to become a successful course creator. So we're going to look at some of the key points, and we're going to go through them as we go through this slide to show you what we actually need to do to actually be successful at course creation. So the first thing we need to look at is the what, the why, and the how. So the what are you going to be selling? What are you going to be giving to your students or your leads? So this is really important. Obviously, it'll normally be in the niche that you're actually in, so you'll have an idea of what you're going to sell. You need to also see and find out the whys. So why would this information that you're giving be of benefit to people paying for it? So research is the key thing here, to find out how many people are interested in what you're trying to sell to them, or you're trying to get them to go into a membership site, you're trying to get them to subscribe to you as well. So you need to do a bit of research. You need to look on social media posts, see what other people are doing, get a general feel for how they're doing things, and see if there's a market for it as well. So we have the basic marketing course on tutorials.newzenler.com, so you can look at that to see where your kind of niche hangs out and these kind of things. So it brings us on to the last point, which is the how. So how are we going to go about doing this, and what you want to achieve as part of that? So how are we going to put this into action? How is this going to work with your lifestyle as well? Because that's an important part. So moving forwards, we need to obviously find out where our audience is. What is our audience? Do you already have an audience? Maybe you've already got members that you've trained or things. You can reach out, you can start list building an email list of all those people that you already have that you can reach out to. So now point number 2 is the plan and the strategy. So obviously the plan is really important, and what I generally do is I like to write down my plan of attack. So if I'm creating a new site for the first time, I will start to write some copy about exactly what it's about, and this copy should be appealing to my audience or the niche that I am targeting. The next thing I do, if it's a brand new site, is I'll set up a homepage and I'll just have a form on there to collect leads. So I'll give information about that on the homepage. So I can bring in leads, I can start to market straight away, I can contact people and I can say, look, go to my site, sign up, and I'll tell you when I launch. So by doing this, by creating this CTA for the homepage, it's very quick for you to start to work on all the other parts of your site. But in the meantime, you're building a list up of people. So plan and strategy, you also want to plan out how you're going to do it. What are you going to do? You know, you're using the Zenler platform, so what's going to be the best way? If you're running a membership site, what are you going to add to it? Are you going to add multiple courses into that membership plan? Is it going to be one course? Do you intend to update that weekly, monthly? You know, all these planned things, scribble them down on a bit of paper, get a general feeling for how it's going to work for the strategy ahead. So then you can start to put that in place. And the goal, what are you trying to achieve? Initially, lots of people for the first year, they're trying to just give away content for free, either in social media channels, getting people to sign up on that home page, and then building a list up before they actually bring out a big course that they then market to those people that have gone in. So what is your goal? What is your end goal to this, to make money as it? Is it as a subscription? Is it one-off payments for a course? Now, how much time, this is plan and strategy, how much time can you dedicate for it? Give yourself some deadlines. So you can give yourself some loose deadlines. You don't need to do it to the letter, but you can say, like, within 3 months I want to achieve this, or within 2 months. So building a strategy of where you're going to be and giving yourself deadlines can motivate you going forwards. You know, you want to get in and find out where these people are hanging out. I mentioned that before. So, and you also want to be helping those people and building your own. If you've not been online before, you want to start giving yourself credibility, you know, and authority in that area, because then people are likely, and you'll find this quite a lot, they're likely to direct message you, or they like you, or they'll follow your page if you've got your social media set up. So the plan and strategy also goes into multimedia. You know, have you got a domain already, a custom domain? You know, have you set up your social media channels with that custom domain name? So for my case, Mojo, it'd be Mojo for YouTube and, you know, Facebook and those sort of things. So you just make sure that you've got that plan and strategy in place so that you can reach that goal. Okay, so moving on from that, the next thing we need to look at, and these all kind of go hand in hand. It is a mishmash, but for this presentation, I'm just showing you these steps just to make it easier. So our brand, what is our brand? You're probably going to want to get a designer to design your logo and maybe even set your branding. So you might have a particular font that you're using, typeface that you're using for headings and body text. You might have particular colors that you're using. For instance, Mojo, I use a particular color. I use open sans for my type, and I use, because my logo is black and white, I use shades of gray and muted colors that work with that particular logo. So that's all stemmed off the back of it. By setting the branding at the start, it makes it a lot easier for you to go through and start designing your pages, because you know the colors that you're going to use, you know the fonts you're going to use, you know, and keep it consistent throughout the site as well. So next you move on to the design phase, where you're designing your pages and putting it together, and basically you've got your site created. At that point, you can then launch your site and maybe have a CTA block on there telling people about the courses. So in the background, you can be working on your courses or your membership site, and then you can bring it all in at the end and do a big newsletter to your leads that you've gathered, and then launch. So then we're going on to the marketing. So you're already marketing all the way through, but now we can take it really seriously, because you've got your product, you've got your pricing, it's all sorted, you've got your leads in there, people are loving the course and giving you reviews. Time to market, time to shout about it on social media, time to do some free training with people, you know, these live workshops for free. Just give them a little bit of information, give them value, and then they'll buy into you. So marketing is that phase that you're going to be running through. Just to give you kind of stats here, normally it's about 5% of the time is actually creating your course, and 95% of the time is marketing. So that's how important the marketing phase is. So lots of people like me, produce tons of courses, and we should be spending more time marketing. I should be spending more time marketing what I've already got, rather than creating new content. But for me, in my particular case, it's kind of like, for me, it's just to do these courses and get this stuff out here and be very productive with it, and my members like that. And my marketing is kind of word of mouth. A lot of people talk to each other and they talk about what I'm doing, so I'm giving them such value for money because I'm adding content all the time. Okay, you know how productive I am here on Zenler with videos I'm producing and stuff, so it's giving you value for money. Our market comes in off the back of the videos and things like that, and you know, all the other shout outs and social medias that we do. So marketing, really, really important. So we're going to move on now to what you need to do once everything's running and you've got everybody in there. We need to look at nurturing. So you need to nurture those people in there. You need to stay in touch with them. The last thing you want to do is get them into a course or something and just leave them. If it's a standalone course, you might think, right, okay, I've got the money from them. That's okay, I'll leave it. You don't want to do that. You want to keep in touch with them. You want to be sending them a newsletter or information about something. Not every day, but you know, now and again, just stay in touch, tell them what you've been up to and these things. People are investing in you, you know, they're investing their money in you, and you're teaching them, giving them good value as well. So you want to stay in touch with them and do not let that list go stale, for sure. So next thing is, and this kind of leads on from nurturing, is the consistency. If you're posting to social media and you need to be consistent with it, you need to be regularly doing this stuff. Now, on Facebook and things like that, Alice does mention about doing manual posts is the best way of doing it. But if you haven't got the time to do that, because none of us have got the time to do that, you can just schedule the post inside Facebook. So you can spend a day writing maybe 20, 50 posts, and you can schedule them to go out every day so that you're creating a consistency. You can also schedule in YouTube and most of the social platforms. So scheduling is a really good way to time management yourself, because you can produce the content, then you can set it up to drip out. So the future, you want to be looking at the future now, because you've created all this stuff and you're now at a stage where you've got people in there, so you should be looking at the future. What can you develop? What has Zenler just brought out as a new feature? Can you utilize that? You know, if we've got in there the multi-schedules, maybe you can use that and start using the calendar. Maybe you can start thinking about, actually, do you know what? I'm going to start to do a blog post, and then in the newsletter I send out, I'm going to send people to that blog post to cause an interest. So all this future, of course, more content you produce, the more likely you are to show up on Google. So it's all a win-win for you. All right, so opportunity, stay up to date. So ask your members. So opportunity, you should always be looking for opportunities. If someone says something to you and you think that's an opportunity there, maybe you know someone from a university or something and they say we're really lacking in that area, there's an opportunity there to maybe sell bulk licenses to universities, these sort of things, and really upscale. Also with the opportunity that comes up in life, so things come along, things come off the back of other things. You might have a course, like I'll give you an example. So I do a jewelry design course for ZBrush, you know, and I talk to a lot of, I'm not a jeweler, but I talk to a lot of professional jewelers, and over the couple of years now I've learned pretty much everything involved in jewelry design, so within my particular program. So an opportunity came up to do some merchandising for a rock band, so I grabbed it with both hands, and now I can produce and make money off of the back of that with merchandising and selling my designs directly to other people. So this can come off the back of something else, so always keep the opportunities there. So stay up to date, make sure you're staying up to date. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/c/Zenler. All our latest new releases that we send out go on there first, so you can see, you can get a little notification if you subscribe, and you'll see any new features that we bring out, which is quite a lot. Also stay up to date with our Facebook group, you know, maybe help people in there, get information from people there, and stay up to date with your topic, of course. You know, you don't want to be behind, you want to be staying up to date with niche that you're using. So also, major thing here, ask your members. So ask members what they want. What do they want to see? They will come up with new ideas, and you'll think, you know what, that's a great idea. Ask your members what you could do that nobody else is doing. So these are kind of key things to take away from a course creator's journey. So I hope you like this little presentation we've done. It might give you a little bit of a boost to motivate yourself and move forward with your course creation. So that is another Zen pop-up by us at Zenler.